Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Lessons from the Universe with Jennifer Hall. In this podcast, you will find that there is no topic off limits and that we talk about just about everything that might be on your mind when it comes to knowing yourself, growing yourself, and the entire process of spiritual awakening. You will hear lots of laughter and hopefully join in, and you will hear the occasional four-letter word. You will definitely hear some inspiration, and occasionally you might even get your ass kicked. Come hang out and see what it's all about. Let's do this. Hello, lovelies. Today I want to talk to you about intuition and manifestation and how there's a fine line between the two, really. Now, this is maybe partly a little bit going to sound like an advertisement or a review, but it's not. It's not intended to be. There is a company that my husband and I have used for many, many years, like 12, right, to care for our trees. We have always loved our trees, even when we were too poor to really care about our trees. And now we do have some really, really tall ones that require some special care if we don't want some gigantic branch to crush something that we don't want to see crushed. And all of this time, we have trusted a company called the Tree Wizards. Now, I think this is important because Tree Wizards is like such a cool name. And I remember seeing it on the back of a truck years ago, and that's why I called them initially. And back then, it was the owner who did all the work. Anyway, the Tree Wizards came out a couple weeks ago. They came out and they do a wonderful job. We're always happy with them. They're so nice. They always say, thank you for the work. And I love that. Catchphrase or not, there's something about it. My kids think they're cool guys. Whatever. So they came out to do some work on the trees, and one of the gentlemen comes to my door. Such a nice guy. Love him. Just want to hug him and squeeze him whenever I see him. He comes to the door and he says, I would like to not do the tree over your chicken coop. I would like to come back with a third guy. Okay, right? He said, you have the most beautiful chicken coop, and I don't want to damage it. Now, of course, I said, thank you for trusting your intuition. I am not in a hurry. I am happy to have you come back with the third guy. Now, this was a use of intuition, and this is excellent. Now, the truth is, his intuition was saying, holy crap, this is something that could absolutely definitely happen, and probably he could have taken some other measure. He and the one other guy could have maybe used an extra rope. They could have maybe done something else. But to come up with the solution of the third guy is perfectly valid. No doubt, no question, good solution. Now, during the week between that appointment and when they came to fix, and some of you already see where this story is going, to remove this limb, I got 2 phone calls from people at Tree Wizards. Lovely people. Not a review, but if you need your trees worked on, Tree Wizards, okay? So they call me, and both of them mentioned that the wonderful guy who had come out had said something about our amazing chicken coop. One even said it was the best chicken coop he'd ever seen, which is pretty awesome because my husband built it. Go, Lucas. Now, it did cross my mind that I hoped he wasn't too focused on possibly dropping a limb, right? Didn't give it too much thought. He's not a client. It's not my job. It's not my job, right? Fast forward to Monday. He arrives with the 2 other guys. And I happen to be on my way out the door right then to get one of the cats and one of the dogs to the vet. Normal checkup stuff, right? But I'm running behind because I had it in my head it was the wrong cat. Story for another day. Anyway, as I'm leaving, I see them coming in. I say, hello, thank you for coming. Excuse me for being in a hurry. I notice they seem a little tense. Now, what I imagine had been going on is this drive where he's telling them about what they're about to do and how careful he wants everybody to be so that they don't drop a limb on this chicken coop. Now, sort of an aside, I guarantee you that they have had clients in the past who've had some kind of damage and got real mad or made them pay or did whatever. So, are you seeing where this is going? 3 gentlemen, do all the things to be safe, and somehow branch falls, crushes part of the chicken coop. Now, those of you who have chickens or know anything about urban chickens, it was actually like the chicken tunnel. It's very fixable, but it's a pretty good crash. Apparently, he offered to pay for it, which is just unnecessary. We can fix it, right? That's not the point. The point is, the reason why I'm telling you this whole elaborate story is the intuition that was supposed to be intervention turned into manifestation. If we think about something too much, if we focus on what could go wrong instead of how we can fix it, change it, alter it, heal it, then boom, that thing that our intuition was trying to help us to avoid will come to fruition. And in so many ways, we will have created it. Beloved, we have to be careful. It is so easy to focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. It is so common for people to take their intuition and decide somehow it is set in stone and inevitable. Or people will say, just my luck, right? It'll be just my luck. Just the kind of thing that would happen to me. Blah, blah, blah. Beloved, don't do that to yourselves. Our intuition is not only a spiritual gift, it is an inherent part of the way our brain works, of our DNA, to put things together, to make a prediction so that we can solve the problem. But if you focus too much on what could go wrong, it will. You can't focus too much on what will go right. You should focus on that crap all day. That's all we should do. Think for a minute about times in your life that you knew what was going to happen. And either you didn't intervene, right? Or maybe you knew what was going to happen that was positive and you just started taking it for granted and you didn't do the work, and then the positive thing didn't happen either. Our intuition is a sign in the road saying either alter your path or keep going. It's not saying click into autopilot and don't work for it. And it's definitely not saying just give in to the negative thing that's going to happen. Beloved, nothing, literally nothing except stone is set in stone. We can change it and alter it. And our intuition is not only giving us permission to do that, it is begging us. It is neon lights and signs and freaking fireworks saying, hey, you can change this. And sometimes it's really a little thing. And sometimes it's a great big thing. But it's all of consequence to the universe. And it is all out there existing in the energy that is our world, waiting to take root in the physical. This is quantum physics, beloved. It's not just spiritual woo-woo, okay? It's quantum physics. Everything exists in energy first. Energy cannot be destroyed. It cannot be killed. It does not die. Energy exists. We can alter it by our thinking. They can actually prove this with science tools and stuff, right? That before and after meditation, the energy around someone is different, that the types of energy can be altered very easily before they take root in the physical world. And there is a theory in quantum physics called the many worlds theory. And it is essentially that everything is existing at the same time, but it is where the action in our brain is taking place that ties us to space and time. It is a sort of complicated scientific explanation for what is the truth. That when we have intuition, whether it's about that there's about to be a butterfly fly right by, if it's about your great grandfather about to die, or if it's about just a limb falling on the chicken coop, that all of those things exist with basically equal value in the energy around us, and we get to help decide, control, and manipulate which energy takes root in the physical world. Once it does take root in the physical world, it does require physical tools to correct it or heal it. But even then, the energy that we put around that makes that easier. keeps it from spreading, keeps it from ruining our day. All the things. What role we play, right? When the office manager called me and said, "What do you think about the work done on the tree over the chicken coop?" You know what I said? I said, "We really like him. He is a great guy." That's all I said. Because nothing else matters. And I'm not saying that you should not expect a company to fix something they break if it's a big deal or if it's a big deal to you. Okay, that's not the point of my conversation. The point of my conversation is even something that simple changes the energy, which then changes what's going to take root in the physical world, which is everybody's view of each other or money spent or whatever it happens to be. We can pull the strings on these alternate worlds and help different things manifest if we recognize that our intuition comes about largely for intervention, right? Slightly change your course to avoid this incident, right? Stay the course, keep going. You're headed towards the results you crave. Sometimes it's seemingly negative, sometimes it's wonderfully positive, but no matter what, it gives us the opportunity to change it, unless we tie so much of our focus to it that we help it create roots in the physical, as if we are giving it root stimulator or whatever the stuff is I've been putting on my garden to help the flowers get deeper roots and stay longer, right? We don't have to do that, but that is what our faith is. Not just our faith, but our focus. You can have faith in the good, but if your focus is on the bad, you're going to get what you focus on. You can focus on the good, but if your faith is in the bad, well, then the whole thing is screwed up. Beloved, the universe is not conspiring against you. It is always conspiring in your favor. And even when something is seemingly amiss, if we focus on the best case scenario, the solutions will begin to come to our mind and help us divert to another path, even if it's just a slight bit over, so that we don't manifest the very thing we are trying to avoid. Think about this today, beloved. Recognize the role of your intuition and use it. Use it for good. Until next time, beloved, namaste.